All right. Welcome to tonight's team call, guys. It is Monday, July 6th. It is the night before Christmas Eve almost. MBF comes out tomorrow, and we're all excited for that. But we have a special guest speaker tonight on the call, and I'm super excited. So we're just going to dive right in and get started with it. So this is my friend Kimberly Roberts, and her and I we never officially met, just like many of us here. We've only met through coaching, but we met, I think it was in 2018. We were both in the Transform 20 test group with Shaun T together. And we ended up being on like the same kind of workout schedule, a bunch of us girls, and we did it as soon as it dropped live at like 12 noon every day. So a bunch of us would like get on Zoom together, and Kim was one of those girls. And then we all kind of like formed a little chat afterwards and did like the big launch together. And I really think like that was amazing. So I know some of you have been in the MBF test group. So definitely like align with other coaches in the network when you get opportunities like that, because not only do you like make great friends and meet new people, but they're really awesome people and a lot of giving people too. And so anyway, Kim was someone who during the test group really literally fired me up every day. Like I was like, I have got to go because she is there. She's firing me up. So we go. Anyway, Kim is a 3-star diamond coach. She just went 3-star a couple months ago with her team. She is an all-star legend and a Success Club all-star legend. And she is also Beachbody Live certified. So in a lot of like Shaun T stuff. So we are going to get started. And if you have questions or anything, put them in the chat box. And then we can do them at the end if we have some time. But Kim, I'm just excited to hear you. Thank you so much for your time tonight. And you can take it away.
Hi guys, thank you so much for having me tonight. I'm super excited to be here. Megan and I, like she said, connected over Transform 20 test group. I want to reiterate what she said. Who was in the test? Is anybody on this call was in the MBF test group? Has been in a test group? Okay. So if you've been in a test group, like she said, really take advantage of that. It's weird now because with success starters, like I have 2 of my girls that were success starters that were in MBF test group. And it's bizarre now with success starters because they really are kind of new to this business. So they're trying to figure out like what this whole test group thing is. And I love that they tossed a couple of elite coaches in there, like Britt Kovacs, who was in the Transform 20 test group with Meg and I, was in there, and they had a couple of elite coaches to kind of show them the way. But really, like she said, take advantage of any time any opportunity in this business to network with other coaches from other teams, not just in test groups, but overall in this business. If you have a success partner, do not have a success partner on the same team as you. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that people make. Because why do you guys already have the same upline? You are sharing the same resources. Go be a success partner with somebody from a different team that has a different upline, that has different resources, that does this business probably different than you do it. And that different is not always a bad thing. My success partner in this business, and well, I shouldn't really say, she's not really my success partner. She's more my mentor. I met in the Transform 20 test group with the one that Meg and I were in, Carrie Arena. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of her, but she is a 5-star diamond in her first, 3-star diamond in her second. I don't know. She has all the accolades. But I met her and really, really bonded with her in the Transform 20 test group. And you'll hear me say this when I introduce myself because I jumped the gun a little bit, but I don't really have a working upline. My personally sponsored coach isn't working this business. So I was a lone wolf. I'm a dead leg warrior. And I kind of had to figure out this business all by myself. I don't have carryover volume. Those of you that do, I'm super jealous. But Carrie has basically taken me under her wing, and she has coached me and mentored me. And she truthfully is such a big part of the reason why I've had success and why I've changed so much as a leader over this last year and a half. So definitely take advantage of networking. But like Meg said, My name is Kim Roberts. I'm a 3-star diamond coach. I actually just went 3-star a couple weeks ago, so we locked at the end of May. So hopefully going into 5-star quals with this launch. That's the goal. Um, I am a mom. I have 2 kids. My son Landon is 8, and my daughter Mackenzie is 4. And I've been married to my husband for 12 years. My full-time career before all of this was I'm a pharmacist. So I went to school for 6 years at Albany College of Pharmacy in Albany, New York, and I got my doctorate of pharmacy. I worked retail, I worked hospital, did all sorts of different things in the pharmacy field, and I hated every single piece of it. I absolutely hated my job. Like, not like, oh, it's a struggle to go to work and I'm kind of miserable. Like, I literally couldn't function. I have really bad anxiety, and I'm a what if person. Like, what if this happens? What if that happens? I could what if things all day. And there was just something about the pressure of being the final check and the final verification on 400 prescriptions plus a day, and taking full responsibility of everything all of my technicians did, knowing that if I screwed up one time, I could kill somebody. It was not something I took lightly. I guess there's a lot of people that are like, I'm just here for the money, and they just pass those scripts through. My husband was one of them, just to be fair. He does not do pharmacy anymore either, but he was much more chill than me. He like did, what are the basic things that I have to make sure are right so I don't kill somebody, and then I'm going to let it go because I'm busy. I was like, I'm going to triple check. Like I'm a double checker, and then I double check my double checking. So it was a really hard career for me. I had a lot of anxiety, and I had panic attacks all day long at work. The only time I was happy was my day off, if that day off was followed by another day off or when I was on vacation. My quality of life was absolute shit. Was I making 6 figures? Yep. Was I making great money? Absolutely. I came out of school. I had a $20,000 sign-on bonus, and I was making $130,000 a year. And I don't care. Money doesn't buy happiness. And being happy and having a good quality of life meant way more to me than any amount of money that I would get in a paycheck. So I had my son. I went through IVF to have my son, my daughter also, but it took me about 3.5 years to get pregnant with my son. Went through hell and back. I had gained about 60 pounds, worst place in my life, very depressed, hated my job, hated the fact that everybody I knew was having babies, and I could not for the life of me get pregnant. I had miscarriages. I was just in a really bad place, and got pregnant with my son eventually through IVF, had my son, tried losing weight, probably like a lot of people on this call, like tried everything. I was running, I was doing all sorts of ridiculous things. I tried every diet there was, and I couldn't lose the weight. And then my sister-in-law gifted me Insanity, and I did the old school Insanity workouts, and I lost all the weight and then some, got in the best shape of my life, fell in love with Shaun T, not Beachbody. I always say that because I was not a Beachbody person, and I was not about to coach because I just love Shaun, and I just kept doing Shaun's programs and Shaun's workouts. Eventually I got bored and decided that I should branch out from Shaun T and try something else. So I dabbled with Les Mills Body Combat, which at the time was a Beachbody program. So I've been doing these programs and products for 9 years. I fought coaching, like was the most stubborn human being in the world when it came to coaching. I was a stay-at-home mom. I quit pharmacy. I should probably say that. I quit pharmacy when I had my son, and I told my husband, I don't care if we have to sell our home, our cars. I don't care. As long as I have you and I have him, we can live in a shack for all I care. I'm not leaving him after everything we've been through to go back to that hellhole of pharmacy. So I became a stay-at-home mom, started my journey with the programs, fell in love with it. And I was a stay-at-home mom for a couple of years. A lot of people think I left pharmacy to be a coach, and that's not how it happened. But I did get to a point where my husband and I were like, I'm going to have to go back to work. We had been going through IVF to get pregnant with my daughter, had to pay out of pocket for everything because our insurance was awful, just like with our son. And we had to do pre-genetic screening. Anybody who's been through infertility knows that it's basically testing of the embryos to increase the likelihood of you getting pregnant and not having a miscarriage. We had to pay out of pocket, and that testing alone is anywhere from $14,000 to $18,000. So it got to a point where it's like, okay, Kim, if you want another baby and you want to do this, like, we're going to have to figure out how to make ends meet in terms of going back to work. And I was like, oh, hell no. I will do anything. I'm not going back to pharmacy. Along the way, I had some of my sorority sisters from college that were like, you should be a coach. You do all of this anyways. You use the programs, you use the products, you should be a coach. I fought it and fought it and fought it, probably like most of you on this call. I finally signed up for the discount because I couldn't continue to afford the products. And I just knew I needed new workouts. And I was like, I don't care. I'll just do it for the discount. But if y'all ever tell anybody I'm a coach, I will quit that day. I will never log into my coach office. Like, I'm not here to work the business. I was as stubborn as they come. So stubborn that I signed as a discount coach, had my own links to send, and I continued sending my coach's link because I refused to work this business, until eventually she was like, by the way, I made this amount of money, this much money last week from the people you sent to me with my link. Like, you should probably do this. And eventually I did. So here I am. I've been coaching since June 5th, 2016, just kidding. So I've been here, no, 2014 is right, 6 years. So I've been here for 6 years. I didn't really actively start coaching until 2016 after I had my daughter. And yeah, it was a really slow burn for me. Like I said, dead leg warrior, everything that is beneath me to this day, every piece of volume that I see is from somebody I have placed beneath me, or somebody I placed beneath me has placed beneath them. I've had to work my ass off for everything I have in this business. I've had to grind so much harder, because like I said, I don't have people showing up in my downline just voila, look, there's all these people. So if you have that, when you get off this call, text your upline, text your coaches, and thank them for the fact that you sign into your genealogy and all of a sudden there's people there that you didn't even know were going to be there, that were placed there from somebody above you. Be thankful for that, because it's really hard in this business if you don't have that. And if you don't have that, don't use that as an excuse, because I'm here to tell you, Carrie Arena herself is one of the most successful coaches in the whole Northeast, and she was a dead leg warrior as well. So anybody can do this business. So that's my story. And if it's okay with Meg, I'll kind of go on with, okay. So how many of you guys feel like you struggle hitting Success Club? Just raise your hands if you do. Okay. How many of you feel like you hit Success Club, but it's by the skin of your teeth and it's maybe SC6? Okay, a couple people. All right. How many of you feel like you slay the game with Success Club? You're like, I'm at SC30. What's up? Okay, good. All right. So, okay, wait. So Jennifer is killing the game. Jennifer, what's like your average? You can put it in the chat. What's like your average Success Club number? She's like, I'm going to put my hand up. I'm here for it.
Wait, sorry. What was your question? I have it on really low, so I don't wake up the kids.
That's okay. What's your average Success Club number?
Between 20 and 40.
Okay, awesome. I love it. All right. So my goal tonight is to kind of help you guys to see that Success Club 6 is a benchmark in this business, but it is legitimately the bare minimum. And I'm going to try to talk to you guys the way that I talk to my girls. I have a lot of girls in my downline that hit Success Club. They hit high numbers. Last month we changed, last month was a rough month. May, we changed 198 lives as a team. So I have a lot of people in my downline that hit Success Club and hit it pretty quick early on in the month. How many of you, show of hands, sell a lot of Just Beachbody on demand? Okay, good. That was kind of a test. I feel better knowing that. Okay. So how many of you feel like you struggle to get people to do that challenge pack? Okay. A lot of the times when people are struggling to hit Success Club, it's because you're talking too much about the fitness piece of this puzzle. So a lot of the times that's what we lead with, because that's what we're comfortable talking about, right? Nutrition is funny because we didn't really get a whole lot of education on it in school, right? Like, you go to gym class, you go to PE class from the very first day you hit elementary school, and you go every single week and you learn every single sport, but you have maybe 2 weeks in health class where you learn about the food pyramid. And that's so dated. We as a society do a really shitty job teaching kids and people in general about nutrition. So a lot of you probably feel very comfortable talking to people about the workouts, right? Like you could talk about our programs all day, every day, but you probably don't feel as comfortable talking about nutrition. And where my business changed was when I started reaching out to people and led with nutrition versus leading with fitness. So if you guys listen to the National Wake Up Call, it was about, I don't know, 3 weeks ago now, she spoke on how her whole system was leading with nutrition. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight. So I always talk to, like when I reach out to people and I'm like, hey, would you like to join me? And they're like, yeah, I'd like to, I want more information. I start with, okay, let's talk about where you're at. Let's talk about your goals. How is your nutrition? That's the first question that I ask them. A lot of people will be like, are you working out? Do you go to the gym? Are you a runner? The first question that I ask them is, how is your nutrition? Because I want to establish right from the beginning of that conversation how important nutrition is, and that I'm here to help them with that. A lot of the times people really don't work on their nutrition, especially in our age. Most of us are probably in our 20s, mid 30s. People don't start really caring about what they're eating until they go to the doctors, and the doctor is like, you have gestational diabetes. If you're pregnant, you have actual diabetes, you have high blood pressure, you have high cholesterol. You need to start focusing on what you're eating. Very rarely in our age group do people focus on what they eat. So when you're having those conversations, when you reach out to people, initiate with, how's your nutrition? And lead with that. When I talk to people, this is going to be very, very clutch for you guys with the MBF launch tomorrow, because of the fact that they're giving both nutritional programs. That's never been done before. That's a game changer. Even before that was a piece of the puzzle, I would tell people, like, we need to get you the challenge pack. And this is why, because nutrition is 80% of the struggle. Fitness is 20%. You cannot outwork a bad diet. That's just facts. I teach fitness classes and I have people come to my class. I do teach a lot of Shaun T formats, Insanity, Transform Live. I teach intense fitness classes, and I have so many people that come and they're like, okay, I'm not losing weight. Like, I'm coming to your class Mondays and Fridays. I'm doing this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I can't for the life of me lose weight. And my number one question is, what are you eating? How are you fueling your body? Because most people work out to eat or drink, right? Like a lot of, especially this time of year, you hear people that are like, I worked out today. I went for a run so I can have a margarita. It doesn't work that way. You cannot out train a bad diet. So a lot of the times, it's being upfront and telling people when you're talking to them, 80% of this struggle is going to be your nutrition. And so I need you to buy the nutritional package. I don't want you to get just BOD. I don't care. I truly, guys, MBF launching tomorrow is awesome. I don't give a shit what program anybody does. I'm a cusser, by the way, Meg. Is that okay? Hopefully nobody's kids are in the room. So I apologize in advance. I have the mouth of a trucker and I'm going to do my best to be better. But I truly don't care. It doesn't matter what program is releasing. It doesn't matter what is launching. It doesn't matter. Like, it really, truly, that's not the piece that matters. That's 20% of it. So whether somebody is doing the work or a bar blend, their results are, yes, going to be a little bit more if they're doing a more intense program and they're really busting their ass. But at the end of the day, it's really going to come down to what they're eating and how they're fueling their body and how they're fueling their workouts. So I will say to people right out the gates, we're going to get you set up with one of the nutritional packages, meaning the shakes or the performance pack. That way you have all the tools that you need to succeed. Every month in my challenge group, my coaches, I do it very different. And I know a lot of people disagree with this, but all of my coaches except two, my top leaders, one who's 1-star and the other who's close to 1-star, they run their own groups, but all of my girls in my downline run my challenge group with me. We all do it together because I really, truly believe in the power of community and strength in numbers. I believe that, if somebody is brand new to a group and they post their sweaty selfie and 50 people comment, that is going to resonate with them and be so much more powerful than 2 people. So if you're a new coach and you have 20 people in your challenge group, the reality is 10% participate. And that's 2 people that might feel compelled enough to comment on that person's post. That feels like shit to anybody. So I am a huge believer in community and value. every month, I actually am doing this tomorrow night. I do a nutrition 101 call in my challenge group. So I get on Zoom and I stream it to Facebook Live in my challenge group because we're still in Facebook Live. And I go over all the basics of nutrition. And I talk about time nutrition specifically. That's the program that I have had the most people have success with. So that's what, and what I have had success with myself. So that's what I speak to. I think To Be Mindset is great. I think it's an amazing program for the right people, but I have just found that UPF is what gives my girls results. So that's what I stick to. And that's what I know the best. So I'll do a nutrition 101 call. So that's something else I lead with. I'm like, listen, we are going to get you set up with a one-on-one call. We're going to focus on your nutrition. We're going to look at how you're eating right now. And then in our challenge group, there's going to be a huge focus on nutrition. And we're going to do a one-on-one call or a nutrition 101 call. And you're going to learn all the ins and outs of your meal plan. And then we're going to get off that. And you or your coach is going to walk you through a one-on-one meal plan call. And I literally do that every single month. So the beginning of the month, I do a nutrition 101. I write up a meal plan with one of the people on the call. So I'll be like, hey, Megan, we're going to write up your meal plan tonight. Okay. It's like an hour and a half. It's a process, but it's once a month. And I do a call before, I do a one-on-one before. This is where you're at. These are your goals. Nice to meet you. Great to get to know you. We do the meal plan call or the nutrition 101 call in our challenge group. And then afterwards, I get back on a one-on-one with them and I say, let's do your plan. Like I have them write it up based off of the call and we review it. How did you do? Did you, like, I can tell if they understood the call or not and if they're going to be successful or not. Does that make sense? So that is very different from what a lot of coaches do. A lot of coaches lead with a program and they speak on a program. So probably, how many of you share your workout videos religiously every single day on your stories? Okay. How many of you share your shake religiously every single day on your stories? Okay. How many of you share your Energize? Okay. How many of you, okay, you guys love Energize. How many of you share Recover? Oh, you guys got to get you some Recover brownie batter. Okay, we'll talk about that. So here's the thing, what you speak about, what you do, your people will do. So if you're inviting somebody to this and you're like, hey, listen, hey girl, you want to join my group? They should know based off of your social exactly what that means because you have given them the inside sneak peek to your group every single day in your stories. So in my stories, I show the products that I use. I show why I use them. I talk about why I use them. And I'm not talking like Energize is a pre-workout and it's all natural and it makes me work out hard. Nobody gives a shit about that. Want to know what you speak about? You say, I'm a mom and I'm going to drink my Energize right now because my kids are assholes and I didn't sleep last night. Or my kids are maniacs and it's 7 a.m. and I feel like I'm drowning. So I'm going to have one scoop now and then I'm going to use it as a pre-workout later. But you have to speak to people's pain points and they should get a glimpse into every single angle as to what these products can do for them from your stories. I'll tell you right now, one of the biggest changes I made was making Recover into brownie batter. I do it religiously and the girls in my challenge group now do it as pudding. I don't know, they're all fancy, but I literally mix my Recover with a little bit of water and it's a brownie batter consistency and I eat it. And most days, guys, I don't care at all about using it as a post-workout because I'm not really that sore that often. I'm a very active person, been doing these workouts for 9 years. I teach, at one point I was teaching 9 fitness classes a week. So it takes a lot for me to be sore. I very rarely am like, oh, I need to have Recover because I'm going to be sore. Although I'm hearing I might need it for MBF. But I use it every day because I use it as an excuse to have chocolate. A lot of people have sweet tooth and it's free on our meal plan. So I'm like, my girls that are struggling with that post-dinner, dinner and done concept, I'm like, cool, get Recover and then utilize Recover as your sweet tooth. Like have it as brownie batter. It's free on the meal plan. Doesn't count against you. So, but I share that. I share that in my challenge group. I share it in my stories so that when I reach out to people, they already know. The worst thing that you guys are probably dealing with if you're struggling in this business, or the problem that's probably happening, is you're reaching out to people and you're doing maybe a great job inviting and maybe a great job having conversations and making those connections. but you're making it so much harder for yourself. If every individual that you reach out to, you have to tell them, this is what I do with this product. This is why you should order this product. That should all be done already. The people you're inviting off of your stories, you should go to invite them. Hey, do you want to join my group? They should know what your challenge group looks like. Like, do you scroll your challenge group? Make sure you don't put people's faces and names. If that's like it's got to be a safe space, keep the confidentiality, but scroll through a feed that is all your coaches, or maybe go through, take a screenshot and blank out their names and blank out their pictures. Show what your challenge group is like. Talk about what you're doing in your challenge group. Literally give them that inside sneak peek. Show that people are having success. Share that on your stories. And then make sure that you're speaking on everything, so that when you say, do you want to join my group? They're like, okay, it's a Facebook group. I've seen it. I know what it looks like. This is what she posts in there, because I've seen a bunch of other people comment, and she whites out their names and they all check in every single day. And this is what they check in on. And this is what time, like, people that I reach out to, they know. They're like, okay, when they get in my group, they're looking for that check-in post day one, because they already have seen it so many times on my stories. Does that make sense? And then every product that I speak to them about, it's not hard to sell to people, because they've watched me use it every single day, and they've heard me speak to it on many different pain points. So Hydrate is another one. I believe Hydrate is like the undersold superhero. It hides behind the shadows of Energize. But Hydrate is one where if you have people, like, I suffer from migraines. I wake up, if I have a migraine, I down a glass of Hydrate. I'm cool in 30 minutes. I'm chill. I'm like, I'm good. Let's move on with my day. I talk about that because there's a lot of people that follow me that deal with headaches and that deal with migraines. And the other thing is, talk about how it cures a hangover. That's another thing that a lot of people don't know about Hydrate. It's like literally the hangover cure. Drink it before you go to bed that night. You'll wake up, you'll feel amazing. So again, you have to speak to these products from different angles. If every day you're not showing your shakes, like a lot of people didn't raise their hand for their shakes, you need to show your shakes every single day. That's like a non-negotiable to me. And you have to speak on it and be like, my nutrition wasn't that great today, so I'm getting my shake in because this is what bridges the gap. The shake is, I call Shakeology the assistant. It's the assistant to the fact that the standard American diet sucks. And most of us, even if we have good intentions, and even if we try to adhere to our diet, a good diet, 100% of the time are still going to fall short. And that's the purpose of the shakes. People need to know that when you're speaking on your stories, they need to know that I'm not drinking this shake. Like, this is not because it's filled with protein. This is not a meal replacement. People need to know, like, she drinks that because the reality is she needs the help. I'm pretty good with my nutrition, and I like to think that I eat pretty well, but I also am humble enough to know that nobody is perfect and nobody can adhere to a diet 100% of the time. And very few people in this world, if any, I should say, actually eat what they need to meet the daily requirements of what their body needs to be fueled, especially when they're putting the demands on it that we put on our bodies, especially as moms. Like, you need that shake. So speak to that. Talk about the prebiotics and probiotics. Educate yourself on these products, and as a team, come together and spotlight that in your challenge group. Like, pick one product every single month and be like, okay, this month we're going to spotlight Energize. In your team page, everybody put what Energize does for them. You'll have moms talk about it. You'll have people that work full time that crash at 2 p.m. talk about it. You'll have night shift nurses talking about it. But you need that. You need to collect all of that so you can go and then give that information to the people that don't know anything about this product. That's the stuff you put on your stories, and you speak to it every single day. If you guys do this, it will be easy for you to crush Success Club, even as a new coach. I tell my new coaches, like, I really don't care what you do in the beginning of this business. Like, I don't even care. This is probably bad, and I know some people would disagree with this too. I don't care if you do personal development, because to me, personal development means nothing if you're not applying it. And if you're not going to invite and you're not going to do the things that are going to put money in your pocket, what is the point of doing personal development? Yes, it's going to help you in your life, right? We do personal development for more than just this business. I get that. But my point is, you have to, especially as new coaches, be very selective and intentional with your time. So I want my new coaches to take that time, instead of doing personal development, to educate themselves on these products, to learn them inside and out, to familiarize themselves with the different pain points that they can speak on with these products. And then I want them to go do that. If what they're doing on their social is on point and they go all in, it's easy for new coaches to make a quick buck and to hit Success Club and then to eventually hit Success Starter. It's all downhill from there. And the other thing that I tell all of my new coaches is, I use the analogy of getting in a pool. A lot of new coaches come into this business, and we as coaches of them are like, we don't want to overwhelm them. We don't want to give them too much, right? Have you guys ever felt that way? You're just like, I really think this girl could kill the game, but I don't want to overwhelm her. Good. Don't give her anything. Don't give her any I hate when people are like, I gave her the new coach handbook. I put her in my new coach training. I got her on a call and like, whoa, girlfriend is so overwhelmed. Like, you cannot do that with new people. You're going to have some people that want all of that, but literally with your new coaches, you just tell them all you're going to do is just show up for yourself, and you're going to share that journey, and you're going to invite others to do that with you. That's where you get new coaches hitting Success Club. That's where you get Success Starters from. And you tell them, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have the mindset, because you're telling me you want to work this business. We're going to have the mindset of jumping in the pool. So many people put their toe in and they're like, oh geez, it's cold. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until I'm going to get a little bit hotter. And then they put their ankle in. I almost did this today, but I ended up jumping in the pool. And then you go to knee length and you're like, whoa, this feels awful. By the time you get in, it's taken you so much time, and you literally wasted so much energy and time getting in the damn pool when you could have just jumped in, gotten it all done and over with and out of the way, and then you're in the pool. That's how I tell my new coaches to jump into this business. Don't tiptoe. Don't put one foot in, one foot out. Like, if you are saying, I want to work this business, then you got to go all in. And that's probably true for a lot of you on this call right now. You have to have that get in the pool mindset and mentality. Because what happens is we dabble with coaching. Like, I'm going to coach. I'm going to post on my stories, but I'm not going to post that. I'm going to show up maybe today and tomorrow for my workout, but then I'm not. We seesaw and we teeter back and forth, and people see that. It's like they smell the fear. They're like, no, I don't. Why would somebody want you as their coach? They can sense that. They can feel that. They can tell that you're not confident. You got to just go all in. And then you have to bring people into your world. Like, I always tell my new coaches, or any of my coaches for that matter, if they want to get on a call with me, I'm like, okay, we can get on a call, but you got to fix your social. Like, if you're not storying right now, you cannot expect anybody to join you in this business unless it's your warm network and you're still peeling off your warm network, and it's people that trust you enough to say yes to you without having any clue what you're doing. But you need to share your world on your social. And I get it. I know it's hard some days. Like, some days you're like, oh my God, I don't want to put this picture of me up. I wake up some mornings, I'm like, holy shit, I look like an alien. Like, what happened? But I get on and I put my face on and I talk to them, because I know that people need me to do that. If you don't talk on your stories, then I challenge you guys to talk on your stories, like tonight, about how excited you are about MBF, about how you like the sample workout. So many coaches don't talk on their stories. And think of it this way. If you were like, if I told you right now to go to somebody's Instagram page and I just threw some random person's page out there, you guys would all go to that page and you would all jump to conclusions and come to your own decisions on what you think that person's like, right? Like, you would search, you'd be like, okay, she kind of looks like a bitch. Like, I don't know. She looks really stuck up, right? Or you'd be like, she looks really sweet. You come to all of these conclusions. That's what people are doing when they go to your page if all you're doing is posting and you never speak and they don't know a thing about you. They're drawing their own conclusions. And that is not setting you up for success in this business. You have to bring people into your world. They need to know what you talk like, what kind of a mom you are, what kind of a wife you are, if you're a good cook or not. The more that you give them to connect to and relate to, the more likely they are to join you. And that has to be on your social. I always tell my girls, your posts are your magazine cover and your stories are the articles inside. Nobody, like, your post should be making them want more. And your stories should be all that juicy, gossipy stuff. Like all the silly stories about the stupid, trashy reality TV, right? Like that's your story. You have to bring people into your world. And I promise you, well, I can't promise, but I'm willing to bet that if you show up on your stories consistently and you get in the pool and you just go all in and you spotlight every single aspect of this journey and you lead with nutrition, you're going to find it's a lot easier. You have to show people what you're eating. You have to talk to them about how it's hard. It's a struggle. It's going to be a struggle for everybody. Nutrition is so hard. And that's just the reality of it. Like it's definitely the harder piece for most people. But let them know, listen, I'm human too. Like I screwed up. One of the biggest mistakes that I made, and this is something Carrie called me on back in 2018 when we were in the Transform 20 test group, and I was really trying to decide, okay, I'm going to go all in on this business. I was that person that posted the perfect clip. Like if I had a minute, y'all know how Transform 20 was. It was awful. So the move was a minute, I took like the first 15 seconds when I was killing the game, and I used that 15 seconds of every single move in my workout video. So I look like a rock star. People were like, oh my God, you make it look so easy. I was like, it's not easy at all. But I actually lost a lot of people because I made it seem too easy. And I had to remind people that I struggle too. I had to remind people like it's not easy. It's going to be tough. You know, I struggle with nutrition. Now I show them when I eat my face off with edible cookie dough because it's a struggle for me. But I show that because people don't want the highlight reel. Nobody wants the highlight reel. I'm sorry. It's just people are numb to it. You guys probably know because you probably are too. You just scroll and scroll and scroll and you're like, I don't even care. She looks like she has all of her shit together, but I actually know her in real life and her life is a shitstorm. You know those people? Nobody wants the highlight reel. The more vulnerable that you are, the more that you let people into your world, the more likely they are to connect to you and relate to you. And it's not always going to be easy. Sometimes you're going to go to post something and you're going to be like, I don't know if I should share this. This is super hard for me. And it's going to be a challenge. But usually those are the posts that you get the most engagement on. Usually those are the posts that afterwards people message you and they're like, okay, I've been watching you for a while. I think I'm going to do this. It's because they realize you're human and you're no better than they are. You're no different than they are. And you guys have that commonality that you can connect and relate to. So I know I kind of went all over the place. The last thing I'll share with you guys, this is something that was my biggest takeaway from NLC when I went in February. I went to California, and it was literally, if you guys can get to NLC, get there. It changed my entire mindset. It changed me as a person, changed me as a leader. It changed everything for me. And one of the biggest takeaways that I had, Sydney Maurer, she's a corporate rep. I don't know if you guys know Sydney. She's amazing. If you don't follow her, or if you don't, watch her on Facebook, she's awesome. And she's so huge in this coach network once you start doing your trainings and your best of the best and stuff. So she's incredible. But she got on stage and she told us her story. And she was like, one of my best friends was and still is a Beachbody coach. And she's like, we used to hang out all the time. And every time we'd hang out, she would sit there and tell me, I invited this person to do Beachbody. I invited this person to join my team. Oh, so-and-so, she's in my challenge group. And she's like, she literally never once asked me if I wanted to join her. Not her challenge group, not her team. Like she was my best friend. And she never once asked me. She would talk to me about it. She would literally sit there and tell me how much success she was having. And she never once invited me. And she's like, so one day I had a really bad day at work and I was really struggling personally. And I finally snapped at her and like, what the hell? Like, why not me? Why have you not invited me? You asked so-and-so, you asked this person, you have this person. Why have you not asked me? And she was like, well, Sid, I mean, look at you. Like, if you guys know Sydney, she's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. But Sid, you have the perfect body. Like, you don't need a challenge group. Like, you're literally in the best shape of your life. And she's like, little did she know that I was struggling and had been struggling with an eating disorder my whole life. And I had the most unhealthy relationship with food. And she's like, well, why not coaching? Why have you not asked me to be on your team? And she said, because you love your job. And Sydney's like, little did she know that I would get in my car every day and leave my job and I would cry the entire 45-minute commute home because I hated my job so much. But as my best friend, I don't let a lot of people in, and not a lot of people knew my shit. And so it looked like I had the perfect body. It looked like I had the perfect job. It looked like I had the perfect life. But who the fuck is she to decide that I didn't need this? She literally said the F word too. Not just me. I'm quoting quotes. So I don't get pinged for that. But she literally said, who is she to decide for me what I do or don't need? And that really stuck with me. And she said, she was like, you guys need to let other people to decide. It's not up to you to decide. Don't ever look at somebody's social media, or if you know somebody in real life, don't ever look at their life and think this person doesn't need it. I truly believe, especially right now in the world that we live in right now, every single person needs this for some reason. I think you are sitting on a gold mine. And I think if you actually want to work this business, and this is what I've told my girls for the last 4 months, there will never be a time like this ever again. When you guys get on the national wake up calls and you hear Darren Ashby say 253 new diamond coaches and rank advancements take literally 25 minutes instead of 10 or 5 like they used to. I mean, we used to literally have maybe 40 diamond coaches. Now it's like slide. You can basically get on the national wake up call at 11:40 and Darren will still be talking, which is amazing. But if you don't see that and do a gut check and be like, why the freak am I not up there? You're not doing the work and you're literally missing a huge opportunity. So if you want this, if you really truly want this, if you're cool with just having the discount, listen, I'm cool with it too. Discount coaches are so important and I'm here for it. But if you are telling yourself or your coach or your mentor or your husband or whoever you're talking to that I want to be a successful coach, I want to be elite, I want to be premier, I want to be top 10. If you're saying any of those things, you better get to work. You got to get rid of your self-limiting beliefs, and you have to ask every single person if they want to do this with you, because there is a need. You have this launch tomorrow of a badass program. I know Megan personally. Her family is actually they're a part of our team. Her boyfriend, Eric, and her mom and her dad are a part of our downline. They're an incredible, incredible family. And she is so badass. Like, I'm so excited for her that she finally has a program that's going to showcase what she does as a trainer and who she is. Because I don't think Clean Week did that. She never had gotten a full program. And I'm telling you guys are going to be blown away with this program. So you have this launch and then you have COVID. And I know everybody's like starting to live their best life. I don't know what everybody's doing because y'all be out there like having barbecues and shit. I'm like, I'm too anxious for that. I haven't left my damn house. I go my neighborhood. I go to my mom and dad's. My mom gets closer than 6 feet. I'm like, girlfriend, better back up. I don't know why you're in my business. So I am too anxious to be anywhere. Some of y'all are doing some crazy shit right now. But I am telling you, the majority of this world is not going back to the gym anytime soon. And I'm telling you that from somebody who teaches fitness in a gym that lives for her fitness classes. I live for my classes. The happiest I am, my husband knows about this about me, my kids, my family, everybody knows the happiest I am is when I'm on that mic. That is my happy place. And if I'm saying I'm not going back right now, then that tells you something. Nobody wants to go back into the gym setting. The gyms still have masks. Everybody has to wear masks. There's all sorts of regulations and restrictions and requirements, and people just don't want to do it. So you have COVID and you need to run with it. You need to recognize that if you think of it, people need this because people need fitness. Gyms are closed, or they've opened and they're going to reclose, or they're open and people have to wear masks and nobody wants to do that. So there's that. You have the fitness. People need immune support more than they ever had for this virus. That's Shakeology. Moms are drowning. Literally, are there moms on this call like drowning? We are drowning. And if you've never been a stay-at-home mom and you got furloughed and now you're learning, like I feel bad. Those are the moms I feel bad for because I've been doing this for 8 years. But I'm like, some of my friends, man, They go to work 9 to 5 and they live for their job. And right now they're trying to figure out how to survive. They're like, this girl, one of my friends called me the other day. She's one of my coaches on my team. And she's like, this bitch is crazy. I'm like, she's 2, literally. She's your 2-year-old daughter. She's like, girlfriend is nuts. I'm like, well, you're kind of stuck with her. So you got to figure it out. But there's moms that are struggling. So there's Energize, right? And then you have the financial piece where so many people have lost their jobs, are furloughed. I have friends that work as nurses, pharmacists that are at a hospital that lost their jobs. Like, this is unprecedented time. Nobody's safe. Nobody is safe. Anybody could lose their job at any time. We are not out of this. I'm telling you, we are not out of this. We're nowhere even near being out of this. So if you're on this call and you have been saying for 2 years or 5 years or 6 months, however long you've been coaching, I want to be a diamond or I want to be a 1-star, I am telling you right now, then you need to get to work. Because in 6 months or a year, whenever the hell we're out of this thing, I'm telling you, you will have regrets if you don't do it right now. It's so easy right now. People that are gym junkies are struggling, and they are so prideful that they are not going to ask a Beachbody coach to help them out. I'm just saying, especially CrossFitters. The CrossFitters are the worst. They're like, they will literally gain 75 pounds before they will sign up with Beachbody on Demand. Okay. Shit's real, but they need you to ask them. It's true. They do. So many people need you, and you have to get out there and you have to go for no. The last thing I'll say is, I had a day, I went to NLC, I changed so much as a person. Like, came back and I was like, what the hell have I been doing? I was the leader that used to give my girls a gold coin or a gold star and a pat on the ass for blowing their nose. Like, everything they did, I was like, y'all are so awesome. Let's have a party and celebrate. It was ridiculous. And then I went to NLC and I was like, what in the Sam hell have I been doing in this business? But again, I didn't really have guidance. I didn't really have an upline. I didn't have a coach to emulate or to watch. So I just kind of wung it, and I didn't do a very good job. So I came home from NLC and I said to my husband, I was like, I don't know how the frick I got to 1-star out of luck, but I'm pretty sure I lucked it, because going to NLC and surrounding myself with all of those people of the same rank or higher, I was like, I'm not doing the things that they are doing. Like, I'm just going to be real with myself. I had to do that gut check and that self-reflection. And I said to him, I'm like, I got to change a lot. Like, I have a lot of work to do. And I'll never forget, I had on the plane home from NLC, I sat with Christina McClurkin, great friend of mine, just finished 4-star quals. She was messaging her face off. And I'm like, can I ask, what the hell are you doing? Like, she was just messaging the whole time we were in California. And I'm like, I don't know if you have a boyfriend on the side, but like, I don't know what in the Sam hell you're doing. And she's like, Kim, I'm inviting. I'm literally just it was all day. It was constant, like no shit. She was just constantly going away on her phone. And I was like, wow, I really need to 10X what I'm doing. And I have to ask people. Like, truthfully, guys, before NLC, I didn't ask people very often to join me. And I sent a ton of messages on the plane because I was like, I don't know, Christina's doing it, so I guess I'm going to do it. I'm going to follow suit. And I went through all the people watching my stories like they told us to do at NLC. And I got home and spent the night with my kids and my husband. And the next day I woke up and I went into my DMs. 12 people had told me, not no, but I'm already a coach, or I'm already doing Beachbody. These are people, guys, that were in my shit every day, watched my stories religiously. These were people that I saw at pickup every day when I'd pick up my son. These were people that I chatted with, that I drank my shake next to every day at my daughter's dance class. Okay. These people knew I lived and breathed Beachbody. And finally, by the 11th person, I was like, shit, man, I got to know. Like, why did you sign up with so-and-so? I had one girl who sat with me every day at our daughter's dance class, talked to me. Like, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to go home and do the work. Oh, really? I've heard about that one. I'm like, yeah, it's so great. Never asked her. Talked about my workouts with her every single day. And I said to her, who did you join with? She's like, I don't know, some random chick. I'm like, I saw you every day. Like, why not me? She's like, you didn't ask. And she's like, I was not at a point where I could ask somebody. I needed somebody to ask me. And so I said, after her response, I said to my husband, you know what? I believe everything in life you learn from and you grow from. You're going to fail forward, and that's just a part of this business, and that's just a part of life. So I said, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to message all 12 of these people, and I'm going to ask them, why not me? And every single person gave me the same answer: because you didn't ask. So hopefully this has all been helpful. I hope that this encourages you guys. Like, there's never been a better time to build this business. I really believe that. There's so many avenues you could go. There's so many things you can invite to. Do the work on the back end, story your face off, highlight the products, speak to the pain points of everybody that's following you, and then go for now. And I'm happy to answer any questions if anybody has questions. I know I took up so much time. I'm sorry, Meg. I try to talk fast.
That was awesome. Thank you. I mean, I think especially right there at the end, just literally hearing that like people you see every day said you didn't ask. I mean, that just goes to like, why are we not asking?
Yep.
I mean, that's insane.
Yep.
I had a quick question for you because I hear
Shoot.
it from my girls, well, myself too. I hear it from people all the time. I think so. They're like, you know, we all go through the stories, we all invite from there, that sort of thing, the people that are in our storefront. But when you get the people that are like, no, or they have an objection, like I think that's sometimes our biggest struggles on our team is we might be too nice and we don't really work through them as much maybe. So I don't know, how do you like get your girls, especially like your newer girls, to take their no's and actually get them to turn into yeses?
Okay. Are y'all a bunch of twos? Enneagram twos? Does anybody, you guys know are you? Okay. Does anybody know their Enneagram? Oh my God. Okay. You guys have to do me a favor. Find me on Instagram. Meg can give you my Instagram handle. I like need to know what Enneagram you guys are. Cause I'm willing to bet most of you are a 2-wing 3. I'm just going to throw it out there. So now y'all can go ahead and prove me wrong. Or sixes. This happens a lot with sixes too. So I am a 2, and I kind of fluctuate, I think, between a 2 and a 6. The 2 is the helper, 6 is the loyalist. A lot of 2s and a lot of 6s struggle in this department because they think that they're actually doing the person a favor by going away after they say no. And I always tell my girls, if somebody tells you no and then you're gone, that is salesy. I believe that that is selling, and I believe that that is salesy. I think your job is to give them that opportunity to tell you no. And then when they tell you no, I always just throw it back to them. And I'm like, no problem. I totally understand. If you don't mind me asking, is there something I could have done differently? Is this not the right time for you? So I really just give them that opportunity to tell me, I'm not interested because I don't have the money right now. Like sometimes people will say, no, thanks, not right now. Or they ghost you. If they ghost me, I love making people feel like shit when they ghost me. This is a new thing that I do. I never used to do this. But when people ghost me, I'll be like, hey girl, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I hope I'm not annoying you. Like, I know I tend to open messages and I don't respond right away. And I totally forget to get back to people. Like, it's the worst. Hope you're okay. And I hope I'm not bothering you. Usually people are like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I totally did forget to respond. But make them feel bad because they're avoiding it for some reason. If people are ghosting you, usually it's because they just don't know how to tell you no, or they want to, but they just for some reason are scared. Fear of failure is a big thing. And what I found a lot of the time is people that say no, they're just afraid. Like it's really not that they're not interested. I believe if they're watching your stories, they're in your shit. They're interested in something that you're doing, because anybody that's going to watch you post these obnoxious workout videos every day and talk about Energize every single day and do all this stuff, like they're there for a reason. And it's typically because they're fangirling, but they don't want you to know that they're fangirling because they're not at a comfortable enough place yet and they don't have the confidence yet to say yes. So a lot of the times with the no, I do challenge them. Like if somebody says no, I will try to go back and forth with them a few times. A big thing for me is asking them, if they say no, like having the conversation with them about why it's a no and then what their goals would be if they were to start. So that when you follow up with them, because the fortune's in the follow up, we all know that. And I believe that's where professionalism starts. Like, I believe following up in this business is professional and it's your duty. If somebody tells you no or they ghost you and you go away, you have just proved to them that you're a salesperson. I have girls that have told me no for 2 years and I still reply to their stories. I watch their shit every single day. Now, if somebody tells me to F off, I'm going to go ahead and go mind my own business. But if they're just saying no or they're just ghosting me and they're still in my business, or I genuinely really like them, like I'm like, this chick's cool. I could totally see myself chilling with her at Summit. Like, I would love to have her join my team. I don't care how many times she tells me no. I don't even care if she's following me back, because I genuinely could see her killing the game. I've had people, one of my girls who was a diamond for 3-star, didn't give me the time of day for probably 2+ years. But I just kept checking in with her. How's life? How's your daughter? What's going on? Be a good human. That's really what it comes down to, because that's what people are expecting you not to do. They're expecting to tell you no, and they think then they'll never hear from you ever again. Prove them wrong. Be like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, I really would love to have you be in my challenge group. Until they tell you, leave me the freak alone, you don't leave them alone. And you find a way in that. Sorry, I set alarms to check on my girls. So if you guys are hearing those annoying alarms, that's what it is. I literally, my girls that suck, see, there's another one. This is the alarm time, just so you know. So it's going to be bad. My girls that suck, they know that they get an alarm on my phone with their name on it. Like, literally, I'm like, you're sucking this month, you're getting an alarm. Nickel, she's at 9 p.m. They know. And then on our team calls, they're like, who is it? Who's the one that's sucking? I'm like, I will call you right out. So it's going to be annoying, just so you know. But yes, I always try to find a way to get to their goals, because I reference back to that. So when I follow up, I'm like, hey, Cindy, I just wanted to check back in with you. I know the last time we talked, you said no because, so I remind them of the situation. I know you said you weren't ready right now because you are going back to work and you didn't know how it would work with going back to work after COVID and you're returning to the hospital or whatever. But I also know you said that you really want to lose 25 pounds so that you can look great on your wedding day. And I know your wedding day is in July. So I just wanted to touch base with you and see if this month was a better fit for you. But a lot of the times I try to have that conversation with them before I don't really go right for that. Hey, you want to join my boot camp? That's not my style. I know that's a lot of people's style. And I know it works really well for some coaches. I really try to go the route of just having a conversation, starting to talk to people. I send everybody, I offer, like, I will take the most random detour in a conversation. We could be talking about a dog's nails and clipping it. And I'm like, hey, do you want to try the sample workouts? Like, it's so bizarre, but I just find a way to curve the conversation to the sample workouts. And usually it's something like, oh my gosh, I know we've been chatting about your kids and I know you're also a busy mom. I have this PDF that I put together. It has all of the sample workouts that you can try for free. There's 11 of them on there. Just wanted to know, I was just sending it to a friend and I thought of you. Do you want me to send it your way? And then they say yes. And I say, because nobody's going to say no. Everybody loves free shit, especially right now. And then I just ask them for their email. I put them into my email database. So now they start getting my newsletter every single week or every single month. They hear from me consistently and I send them the sample. I mark in streak to check back with them in a week. I go back and I'm like, hey, did you get a chance to try the sample workouts? What did you think? These programs speak for themselves, guys. So if you can get people to actually try the workouts, done deal. And the other thing I do is we use Mompreneur in my challenge group. So I send that weekly meal plan with the sample workouts. And I say in the email, I don't know if you follow a specific diet or nutrition plan, but nutrition is 80% of it. I'm attaching our weekly meal plan that I put together every week for my girls in my accountability group. Let me know if you try any of the recipes, what you think of them. So again, I'm really making sure that I'm making it known right out the gates. Yeah, you were interested in sample workouts, but I'm sending you the recipes because nutrition is 80% of it. Is that helpful? I don't know if I really answered the question.
No, that was helpful. That was good.
Okay.
I mean, I think it actually makes a lot of sense. Like, you do sound really salesy if you just say, okay, fine. Like you were just in it for a quick buck kind of. So I think really pressing and like getting to more information is important. And that's a good idea.
And just being a good human, like just show people like you're human, I'm a good human, you know, like I always say the people, I really truly believe this. If you are not a people person, you will not succeed in this business. Like if you don't care about people, you won't succeed. Because it's so important. Like every one of your challengers, you have to care about, and you have to give them that great experience. If you guys, once you get people, I always say steps like 1 through 7 are when they get to ghost you. Step 7 on is when you don't get to ghost them, because so many people sell the challenge pack, put them in their group, and then that's it. You know, they don't ever reconnect, they don't follow up, they don't make sure that they're getting success, they don't do one-on-one calls. I pour so much into my girls that are, you know, that first month, especially that first week. I mean, they hear from me every single day. How'd you make your shake? Did you like it? Isn't it amazing? Didn't you feel more full? And I say things in a way where they kind of feel like a jerk saying no. Like, aren't the shakes amazing? They're so good. How'd you make it? And then if they didn't like it, they feel silly and they're like, I don't know what I did wrong, but I didn't like it. Okay, how'd you make it? But like, you really need to be in people's business from the beginning, from when you invite them. You have to be a good human.
Awesome. Thank you. Does anybody have any last, like a question or anything? Oh, Tanya, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so I have I won't say I'm new, but I think I am just getting to the point where all of this is starting to click for me and want to move forward in the business side. And I will say, you know, in the beginning, I started and reached out to people and got that no, I guess, or just the indifference, and I didn't really press it. So those people are still in my feed. They're still looking at my stories. They're still commenting on the things that I'm posting because I'm still posting. I just really haven't, boom, done that like that whole inviting thing because it scares me. But do you suggest going back and maybe reaching out to those people in some kind of way, or how would you do that if that is, you know what I mean? Because they're still there, they're still visiting, they're still commenting, there's interaction with my posts. I get that from my coach all the time. She's like, girl, you need to be talking to these people. And I'm like, okay. But then I'm like, I get stuck in this. I want to say so much. And then I end up not saying anything at all.
Okay. That's common. It's like, it totally makes sense. I'm with you. Like, we're on the same page. That's very common. A lot of the times it's that same feeling of you want to work this business, but you're so overwhelmed that you don't know where to start. So you scroll. Like, that's what happens a lot of the times with inviting. And one thing you said inviting scares you. So I would challenge you to try to shift your mindset. And like, do you have kids? Yes. Okay. So when you have a party for your kids, do you send invites? Yeah. And are you scared? Like, does it scare you? You don't feel scared. Like, you're like, we're having a freaking mofo party. Like, y'all want to come? We're here. We're having beer. We're doing keg stands. What do you want? Like, here's the deets, you know, like, so that's how you have to have that. This is what my girls deal with all day, every day, just so you guys know. That's so professional. You have to have that mindset when it comes to inviting in this business. Like, we are having a party and you don't want to miss it. A lot of the times it's shifting that mindset to inviting is scary, inviting is icky. No, inviting is cool. Inviting is awesome, because you are not going to get people to do this if you don't invite them. And I tell my girls, it's no different than inviting to a party. So if I were to have a birthday party for my son next month and I said nothing to anybody, right? Like, I just was like posting the color theme that I was going to have, and he's doing Lightning McQueen or something, and I'm talking about that, but I don't tell any of the details. Is anybody going to come? Like, you guys hear my alarms? I'm so sorry. I saw Sarah laughing. She's like, oh my God, this girl's alarms are ridiculous. So if you don't tell any of the details, nobody's going to come to the party, because they don't know where it is. They don't know when it is. They don't even know if they're invited. So And you probably have those friends or those relatives where you know, maybe they live halfway across the world. I'm hiding my alarms. I'm hiding my phone under a pillow. Maybe they live 3 hours away. You still invite them, right? Because that's the courteous, polite thing to do. Like, that's just party etiquette. This is no different. This business is no different. If you want people to come to the party, you have to give them the details. If I sent you an invite and I was like, hey, Tanya, do you want to come to Landon's party next month? You'd be like, maybe. Like, I don't know. What does next month mean? Like, that's like saying to somebody, do you want to join me? People are like, what the hell? Join you for what? Like, we'll join you to go where? Like, what are we doing? You know, like, so you have to give them the details. You guys still hear my alarm? I'm going to throw my phone. So give them the details, invite them, and like, give them the whole down low. And then I would say, yes, the people that you already invited that said no, go back to them. And I would just simply say, hey girl, I just wanted to touch base. You know, it's been a little bit since I reached out. How are you doing? Like, are you okay? Because this COVID shit is insane. I don't know what happened to 2020, but like, we're halfway through the year. It's crazy. Just be a good human. Reach out, start that conversation, and then offer them the sample workouts and be like, you know, if you lead with, that's why when I reached out to people, I always say, how are you holding up during all of this craziness? Like, that's my go-to question, because most people will respond to that. If you say, do you want to join my boot camp? 50 to 60% of people are going to ghost you or say no, without even knowing what that even means. So I lead with, how are you holding up during this craziness? And then if they say, oh, I'm surviving, how are you? I'm like, well, let me tell you how I'm doing. Okay. Let me give you the book. And then I always say, right now, my workouts are literally the only thing keeping me sane. They're the only things helping me with my anxiety. Do you want to try them? I put together a PDF. Like, I can send you guys what I send, but I literally say, I put together a PDF with all of the sample workouts at the beginning of all this to pay it forward, because I know there's a lot of people that are gym goers that don't have a gym right now and don't have access to an app. Is that you? Do you want me to send them your way? And I would literally, every single person, I would go down the line. Like, this is what I have my girls do. I challenge them to do this once a month, sometimes twice a month. That I have them go down the line of their story viewers. I don't care if you have 700 people watching your stories. I want you in their shit, in their messages within the last week. So if that's watching their stories and replying to one of their stories, if that's just saying, how are you doing during all of this craziness, find a way to reignite that conversation. Because if they're still on your feed, it's just like I said, you have something that they want, but they're not going to ask you for it. You have to ask them, because they're like, Tanya's doing this cool thing and she talks about it all the time. It looks like something that might work for me, but she hasn't asked me to do it, and I feel weird reaching out to her. Like, it just feels, if it feels weird for you to invite her, think of how weird it feels for her to invite herself. That's like somebody inviting themselves to a party. Like, hey, I know Landon's having his birthday party next week, and it sounds like it's gonna be a bomb ass party, and y'all are doing keg stands. Can I come? Like, nobody's gonna do that. Keg stands or not. Is that helpful? Okay.
I also just really want to quickly follow up to that, but I think, Tanya, there's something to say about you still being here. And I think you are not giving yourself enough credibility there. Like,
Preach.
people should just, like, they should see that this did not just go away after that first time you asked them. You're still here. You're still trucking along. You're still making yourself a priority, especially with kiddos and busyness and all of that. So, like, put that in like your pro box. Like, instead of thinking like, I don't have anything to like talk myself up about, put that in like your pro box and talk yourself up that you have credibility in this and you can follow up with people and show them like, this isn't just a quick fix for you.
Agreed. So much.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No. I was just going to say, I think most people expect you to go away. Like, most people, and I always tell my girls, like, I don't know if you guys are like this, but I have a lot of girls on my team that are really crazy competitive, and I'm shutting them off in the process of doing this, just so you guys know. I always tell my girls, like, this is their mentality, but they have that mentality of like, oh, I'll show you. Like, if somebody tells them they can't do something, they're like, watch me. So I always tell my girls, I'm like, they're waiting. People are waiting for you to quit. People are waiting for you to stop posting and storing. People are waiting for you to stop messaging them. Like, are you going to let them have the last hurrah? Like, are you going to give them what they want, or are you going to go for it? And they're like, F that. Like, I'm going to go for it. If you put it like that, you know, so have that mentality of, you know, I'm not going to give people the satisfaction of what they think I'm going to do. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I will bleed. If Beachbody crumbled tomorrow and Carl like flew off to Venezuela or something and we never saw him again, like I would still be here. Like, how do I bleed Beachbody blue? Like, it's just in who I am. And that's never going to change. Like, I'm never going to stop doing these. As long as they're around, I'm still going to do these programs and I'm still going to use these products. So even if I were to quit coaching tomorrow, my life would not change, except I make a lot less money.
Agreed. Okay. So there was one more real quick that came in, and I think this is actually probably a good quick follow-up to what we were saying about the no's. So
Perfect.
I think the thing is, like, no's, okay, we hear that, but like we get a lot of like interested, but like I already signed up for Weight Watchers, or I already just signed up for, you know, spin classes. Like, how do you just write them off? How do you go from there?
I love on people until they tell me to fuck off. Literally. Like, I'm not joking. I have had people that I follow that are like, no, I'm like doing Beachbody with another coach. And if I think they're cool and I'm like, I don't know if they're having a great experience. Like, if I can gauge from my conversation with them that they're not in a good accountability group or that they're not having massive amount of success, I stay. Like, I'm not going anywhere because I know what I have to offer and I know what I bring to the table as a coach. And so I stay. Like, I don't care if somebody is doing, you know, Whole30 or keto. God love it. Keto, that was the worst. That trend was god awful. Everybody and their mom did keto and nobody would drink the shakes because they were high in carbs, which they're not. It was absurd. But that was a tough time. And I just stayed. And let me tell you how many people I had come to me once their body had fat adapted and they realized that they could no longer have carbs without blowing up like a balloon, and they needed help to reverse their body to go back from fat adapted to carb adapted. And they needed somebody that knew what the hell they were doing to help their body to transition back to being able to digest and process carbs. So, so I think that, you know, I stay. I mean, I never give up on people. I've even had people do Beachbody with me, lose a crazy amount of weight and go to Thrive or another MLM and share their transformation from Beachbody and say that it was from another company. And I still stay because I know that they know. Like, here's the thing. When you lay your head down on your pillow at night, if you know that your intentions were pure and you're a good human, that's always, it comes around. So like, I know that at some point that girl's going to go lay her head down on the pillow and be like, this all happened because of Beachbody. And why the hell did I go to this other company? And why am I trying to convince people that this stupid patch did this and changed my life? I'm going to go back to Beachbody. And I want them to be comfortable coming back to me. So I never stop loving on people. I don't really, I just think it goes back to professionalism and being a good human. And also too, I love helping people realize that they were wrong. Like, it's just, I look at it like, I just look at it like it's a challenge. You know, if they're like gung ho on Weight Watchers, I always say to people, if you want something you've never had, you've got to do something you've never done. And, you know, if it doesn't, if you don't change something, then you're not going to change. Most people are like, oh my gosh, I love Weight Watchers so much. Cool. But you still told me that you need to lose 65 pounds. So I'm really happy that you're comfortable doing Weight Watchers. That doesn't mean that that's what you should be doing. Sometimes we speak to what people want to hear, and we need to tell them what they need to hear. I saw Sarah said, do you know how many points the shakes are? In terms of Weight Watchers, I don't know.
I think they're 2 points.
There you go.
Without like anything else in it. Just because I just had this conversation with someone.
There you go.
You have a specific certification to do one-on-ones about nutrition, or I mean, we don't.
Nope. So I always tell people, like, I am not an expert. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert. Everything that I know, I have learned firsthand on my own journey, or with one of our nutritional programs. So I believe, like, your job as a coach is not really to lead with educating them. I think your job as a coach is to share your experience and to inspire them to do something similar, or to do the same thing that you did. But I do think that it's important to bring some education to the table, and you don't need a certification to be able to talk to people about Shakeology and its benefits. Like Dr. Lawrence Fitzgerald just did a whole call on that. Go listen to it, educate yourself, and then you're an expert. You know, but I always tell people, like, I'm not going to sit here and claim to be an expert. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a nutritionist, and I'm not going to pretend to be, but I am going to get on this call and I'm going to tell you what I know and what I've learned and what has worked for me, in hopes that it works for you. And it might not, you know, a UPF is not for everybody. But most of my girls, if I give them the tools and I give them the education and I go through the meal plan and I teach them the system, they crush it.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's probably great. That was all great. Thanks so much, Kim. I really appreciate it. You guys, if you want to check out Kim and give her a little bit of follow and see what she's doing to, like, get herself out there, it's at Kimberly Roberts. So Kimberly Roberts.
3 underscores.
Oh, there's underscores in that?
Yeah, it's a really popular name. I don't know. I tried everything. It's at Kimberly 3 underscores Roberts.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I'll put it in the chat.
All right, awesome. Kim, thank you so much. I really
Thank you
appreciate
guys.
it. You gave a lot of great tips. All right, ladies, thanks for hopping on tonight. I'll put up the recording tomorrow. And did everybody get a picture that they want? Yeah.
Thank
okay.
you.
All right.
Oh yeah, tag me in your pictures or your boomerangs or whatever you post too, so I can reshare them.
All right. Thanks so much, Kim.
Bye guys.
Thank
Have a great
you.
night. Good luck. Kill the game.
Bye. Thanks.